in this lesson, we're going to learn about converting between fractions into decimals. Between fractions and decimals. Right? So, here's the thing, right? We're going to do simple fractions to illustrate the concept, okay? Because you have to go, because the reasoning is because we want to work with terminating decimals first, right? So basically, right, when you want to convert between a fraction and a decimal, what you have to do is you simply have to divide the numerator. You have to divide the denominator by the numerator, right? So in this case, if you do 1/2 and you want to convert it into a decimal, you do 2 divided by 1. And if you do 2 divided by 1, 2 can't go into 1, right? But 2 can go into 10, right? You can go into 10 5 times. So this becomes 0.5. If you want to do 1/4, we divide 4 into 1. 4 cannot go into 1, but 4 can go into 10 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8, right? 10 minus 8 is 2. We add a little 0. 4 can go into 25 times. So this becomes 0.25. If I want to do 1/5, 5 cannot go into 1, but 5 can go into 10 2 times. So this becomes 0.2. If I want to do 1/20, not 1/20, 1/10, right? 10 cannot go into 1, right? But 10 can go into 10 one time. So this becomes 0.1, right? Now, we can keep doing this over and over and over, over and over and over. Now, the examples that I've used are, very easy examples, because the point is to just try to illustrate how you convert the fraction into a decimal. You take the denominator and you divide it by the numerator, right? And we just do this long, we do division, right? The only example that we did that was long division was 1/4, and you get the answer, right? Now, in these examples, right? In these examples, these are called terminating decimals. Okay, these are called terminating decimals, and the reason why they're called terminating decimals is because the decimal ends, right? The decimal ends. It doesn't like go on forever, right? So, for example, like examples of fractions that give like terminating decimals would be like 1/2, 1/4, 1/5, 1/10, 1/20th, 1/50th, 1/100th, like things like that, right? Because the decimal ends, right? But then we also have decimals called we have decimals called non-terminating decimals, right? And a non-terminating decimal is a decimal that repeats itself, right? So for example, an example of a non-terminating decimal would be something like 1/3. For example, if we take 1/3 and we divide 3 into 1, right? 3 cannot go into 1, right? 3 can go into 10 3 times, right? So 3 times is 9. This is 1 as the answer, right? So we put a little 0 here. 3 goes into 3 9 times. So we put a little 1 and we put another 0. It goes again, right? Notice how we keep getting 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, right? So because we keep getting this 3, we put this little dash mark here. We can eliminate this 3. And we put a little dash mark here. And this little dash mark, it's like this little bar on the top tells us that the decimal is repeating. It's a repeating decimal. Right? Or non-terminating. Is repeating and is non-terminating. Okay? Let's be specific with what we're saying, because because a terminating decimal, remember, a terminating decimal is a decimal that ends. A terminating decimal is a decimal where it eventually stops, right? The decimals eventually stop. 1/3 is an example of a repeating decimal because we keep getting three forever. We keep getting it. So in order for us to just indicate that this little bar thing, we just put a little bar on the top to indicate that it keeps going on and on and on and on. It keeps repeating itself. 1/3 is an example of a repeating and non-terminating decimal, because if we don't put the bar, we will see that it keeps doing three, whatever, right? So that's that. That's basically it. So for the purposes of this video, you just have to understand that if you want to convert between a fraction and a decimal, all you have to do is just divide the numerator by the denominator. And when you divide the numerator by the denominator, we will get the decimal, right? 1/2, 1/4, 1/5, 1/10 are examples of terminating decimals because it ends, right? Other examples of terminating decimals would be like 1/20th, right? 1/20th, 1/50th, 1/100th, etc. Right? And then in a case, for example, like 1/3, 1/3 is an example of a repeating and non-terminating decimal. Another example of a repeating and non-terminating decimal would be 2/3, right? Because if we divide 3 into 2, 3 cannot go into 2, right? But 3 can go into 20. 3 goes in 26 times. 6 times 3 is 18, right? This gives us 2, bring another 0, is 6. We keep doing the same thing, it's going to give us 0.666666666. So in order for us to eliminate this, we have to put the little decimal bar. And the little decimal bar tells us that the decimal is repeating, is a repeating decimal. This is an example of repeating and non-terminating decimal. It's both. It's both repeating and non-terminating. So we get 0.666, and then 0.3333. It's the same thing. Okay? So that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to making another video soon. Bye-bye.